Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
Many places felt the pain of Adamant. You will answer for a great deal.
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear. Not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground you trod in your pathetic life. I serve the living God. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
Lord Erimond, any protection you thought you had has apparently been withdrawn. You will die by my hand.
Petty actions. Truth lies in the next world.
Another of the lingering pains of Adamant, your worship. Sir Ruth is a senior warden of the Order. She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the headman's axe.
You were free to rejoin your comrades, and yet you present yourself here.
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus, many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
We doubt when we're safe, when Blight is not at our throat. I can't judge a warden, Sir Ruth. No one has that right.
You have more faith in the Order than we ourselves have.
you see what they...
The spiderwebs help stop the bleeding, and they prevent wounds from getting infected. Gather as many as you can. The strangest thing, though, I can't recall where I heard that. I think I remember a young man.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. Therenfall Redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
The Red Templars swarming Haven were proof enough.
We cannot allow them to gain strength. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
Where do we begin?
Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
claims this red lyrium's not coming from the deep roads.
Should we look around?
Big gushing streams. I'm starting to feel inadequate.
Another letter on the smugglers, referring to Samson.
Nothing to report, sir.
Another letter mentioning Samson. And papers with names. Cullen could use this.
How much did you need?
The smugglers we interrogated gave up the Red Templars' main source of red lyrium, Inquisitor. It's located in the Dales, near a town called Sarnia. Destroying the mine there will cripple Samson's operations.
Samson will have to cut back on his share if there's less red lyrium to go around.
I would be very surprised if he could muster the discipline.
Inquisitor? Inquisitor.
To work? A captain sent back sketches of the walls. Our experts say they look elven.
Interesting. Does Corypheus send scholars to find something the elves buried? Or something buried with them?
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Céline will be meeting for peace talks with usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Trevelyan, we meet at last. I've heard so much about you. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
I can see many benefits to such an alliance.
Keep the image firmly in mind. We may see it materialize by the end of the evening. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. Prepared to shock the Assembly by appearing as the guest of a hateful usurper, my lord? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
Tell me there's more to your suspicion than the elves were acting dodgy.
That Ambassador Briala used to be a servant of Celine's. That is, until my cousin had her arrested for crimes against the Empire to cover up a political mistake. If anyone in this room wishes Celine harm, Inquisitor, it's that elf. She certainly has reason. Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
What? Emartia? Don't be absurd.
One of the Trevellians, I've heard.
Pardon me, my lord. You haven't seen a ring lying around. It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard. It was a gift from a member of... She will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
That's a terrible predicament.
If the Countess finds out, make her have mercy. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know. Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a life! Enjoy the party.
Is that the Inquisitor?
A matter? The Maker has an oath. It's been
since I've had any work on Balawayu.
Where has that servant gone? Elves. Where has that servant gone? Elves.
Foreigners.
Interesting.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspar will ruin us all.
I told you we should have won the Silver Brigades.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I'm sure you know how to handle most nobility, but the game is nothing like the Free March's intrigues. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up, don't worry.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
Might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. The bull in particular.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
hardly believe Gaspard and Celine are in the same room.
Grand Duchess Florian must have worked a miracle to
Need
get
to
them
have this
here.
jacket let out a little. It will take some time to get our men into the palace.
How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Celine was having the
Please,
entire
it's
wing
barely half the size
redecorated.
of the foyer in
But the
Imperial
timing was
Palace.
atrocious.
It's obviously just
Why
a
would she do
restaurant.
such a thing now?
I'd call it more of an antechamber myself.
No one
I
asked
had
you.
hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity the wing is sealed. How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace without war going on?
I heard that it wasn't renovations at all. The palace was damaged by Gaspard's catapults.
He fired on the Winter Palace? That's monstrous.
What is Gaspard?
Interesting. Boring.
Who does Orzammar favor in the negotiations?
King Aduke, considerable coin behind the Empress, hopes of trading foodstuffs.
I wish there was more news coming from the conquest.
Good news is becoming an increasingly rare commodity.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lord Inquisitor Trevelyan, son of Ban Trevelyan of Ostwick. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
Remember to smile. This is all for show, my dear.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Madame Vivienne, first Enchanter of the Circle of Magi, Enchanter of the Imperial Court, Mistress of the Duke of Ghislaine.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lord Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I'm delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me that. For my mother. Are they in good health? Do they want
Get these pastries out
Papa's
to the
perfect.
diplomats.
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! I can't carry them all. Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Of course, every word. Especially the parts where everyone was nude.
I knew it.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette.
She would. You should be proud, Josie.
Have you actually sat...
I must...
And I must wait for your tutor's bid.
I'll see you later.
Another time. Can you believe the Inquisition feel its ranks with us?
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
And here we are. You haven't embarrassed yourself as much as I feared. Well done, my dear.
I've always wondered, what's the Orlesian...
We all wear masks, my dear, not just the people. Who you are as a son, a lover, a friend, is not the same man who speaks for Andraste. Orlesians codify this truth. By giving each of these selves its own separate face, they believe they can be their truest selves, unmasked.
Any words of wisdom for navigating the ballroom?
Speak to the Council of Heralds. 6 of them are here tonight. The 7th member of the Council is indisposed. His absence will complicate the negotiations. The Council are the highest-ranking players of the game. They see everything. They might know something we can use.
Tell me, Vivienne, where do you want the crown to fall?
What I want is irrelevant, darling. Orlais requires stability, and that is best served by Empress Celine.
Be ready to act when I give the signal.
Always, my dear.
Laurent was the love of my... Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Are you married?
I'm married.
Still single, then? You must dance with me, Commander. You cannot stand about all
What
evening.
were they doing in the Western Approach? It's a wasteland.
Did you just grab my...
It may not have been wise to attend to
The
this.
war will end tonight.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fight, yes. I still remember the day they came to tell me that my second husband, Philippe...
Look at Lady Kemp. And those buckles. Toss her into...
There's a Tavit...
Everyone needs gold and jewels. She... But... These are all useful questions.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Inquisitor, the sooner we track down this infiltrator, I await your...
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
My lord! My lord Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in his holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
Let me guess. All she wants in return is for me to help her defeat the Duke.
Oh, this is not meant as a bargain by any means, Inquisitor.
The support of the Empress is not conditional. It will be yours once the negotiations are concluded.
The Empress is the most skilled diplomat in Thedas. Gaspard is hopelessly out of his depth.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Did you need something?
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look. Interesting.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they'll not leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos.